I've been wearing my afro pretty much my whole entire life, right? And I started thinking the other day that why we don't see the afro today as much as how it was back in the 60s and 70s, especially in today's day, we have more acceptance, more products. And I just want to invite the question like, what's actually changed? Now, growing up from baby to now, throughout my childhood, I've always had an afro, whether it was curly, whether it was short, whether it was long, no matter the case. I even had it in a mohawk. And a lot of people thought I was a girl when I was young. So yeah, I always love to experiment with my hair. My mom's played a big role in that, embracing my uniqueness, embracing, my lovely hair, and just to be unique and to be proud of it. And I've pretty much done that my whole life. I would change styles from time to time. So I would cut it. I would have a mohawk. I've had braids, cornrows, cane rows, whatever one you guys call it. I've had twist. I've had French plaits. Like, you name it. You name it. I've had everything. I always go back to it. I would always go back to this. You know what I mean? Like, why not? It signifies my, my pride and my culture, my heritage, my roots. You know what I mean? No matter what, our hair's always growing straight towards the sun. But let's be real. Afro hair does take time to like manage. It's not an easy road. It's not an easy road. You got shrinkage, right? You got time because you can't just comb this out in 1 minute. You can't just wake up and then poof. You know what I mean? When you wake up, the afro is flat and it's knotted, so you need to comb it. So, time consuming products, you got to spend money on it. So yeah, you got to really take extra care compared to, people with straighter hair. So I ain't gonna sit here and think and say that it's all a bed of roses. No, it does come with its cons. Today we actually have more products, more acceptance. So I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier: more products and more acceptance. Because in the 60s and 70s, it was to signify the pride, the Black Panther movement, to get rid of all those colonial condition type of mindset and to show pride. So you right throughout the 60s and 70s, you would have seen loads of artists and civil rights activists in the USA, because it was the US that kind of popularized the Afro, especially in the 70s with the disco music and the disco scene, and everyone and their husband, wives, kids, like the whole family just be rocking out their Afro puffs, the oil sheen, the spray sheen, the all the grease back in the days. But then now we have more options, right? We have more products. And one thing that we gotta understand is, like, for example, with me, Cantu works with me, but Cantu ain't gonna work with my sister, right? We all have different hair textures, and that's something that we all need to like appreciate and don't look on it as a negative. Just because someone's hair is more kinkier, more coily, more kinkier, and their coils and their hair is tighter. You know what I mean? It just means there's a different method that you got to use and different products you got to use, but it's still doable as to someone that has a hair that's less kinkier and less tighter curls. But this is where it gets interesting. Growing up in the UK, I have observed and realized that mixed race or biracial for Americans, women and men, boys or girls, wear their Afro hair or natural hair more than Black men and women, or boys and girls. Now, this isn't just about comparing, this is just about understanding everyone's differences, right? And people would say that people who are mixed tend to have, looser curls. Obviously, that's not always the case, because as a mixed race person, your hair could be loose, your curls could be loose, or it could be really tight, compared to a Black person's hair. So yes, their maintenance might be easier, or yes, they have different methods, but that's the beauty of Afro hair. Everyone has different methods, everyone has different hair types, everyone has different treatments. You understand? It's all about understanding everyone's differences and what works for you. Just like how I previously mentioned that Cantu works for me, but Cantu is not going to work for my sister, it might not work for my mum, it might not work for my dad. So it's just finding what works for you, and we should just all embrace it, no matter what the texture is, whether it's kinkier or less kinky. Do you know what I mean? We should all be proud of our hair because it's part of our identity. But here's what I think is the current problem to why we probably don't wear our afros that much. Although that I said previously that there's more acceptance in today because now we have hair discrimination laws that do protect mixed and black people from hair discrimination, whether that's in, institutions like colleges, universities, schools, workplace. We still face microaggression. We still get faced with, the joke, the subtle joke, laughing at their hair, wanting to touch their hair. We all do go through those things. But I would say that because of these hair discrimination laws that has recently come in both UK, maybe Europe and the US, should then allow us to embrace it more so, because in the 60s and 70s it was more of a stance, it was more of an uprising. It was to show liberation and to be free to wear their hair and be proud of their identity. But now in modern times there's been more acceptance. So although we do have the microaggression, we have an act or a law that can protect us from, any discrimination that we face. So any hate crime that we're faced with, we also can, get protected for our hair. But here's what's also interesting is that it's not just a UK or Western country or thing, right? It's not a Western thing. It's not a UK or US thing. This problem also happens in predominantly black countries like Jamaica, South Africa, Kenya, etc. And I think it's down to maybe the colonial mindset, why these predominantly black countries have these views. When it comes to dreads, when it comes to afros, it has to be cut short. It has to look proper. Right? We've always been heard that, this is unkept. It's not tidy. It needs to be, you need to look like a decent young man or a decent young woman. And, that's the, conditioning, the brain conditioning that we also go through as black people in those Caribbean and African countries.
Why is there discrimination against black hair in black majority countries? See, in Jamaica, a 5-year-old girl was barred from her primary school because she had locks. The school prohibited locks on non-Rastafarian students, claiming the hairstyle could lead to lice. Meanwhile, over in Kenya, a Rastafarian student was kicked out of high school because she had locks. It was only after a court order that she was allowed to return to class. But there was a catch. She had to cover her locks with a turban.
It's teaching self-hate. It's telling them who you are naturally is not good enough, so that in order to fit in, you have to change who you are fundamentally.
Hair discrimination is nothing new. It has a long history dating back to 15th century West Africa.
And I just feel that, we're moving in modern times now. We should kind of change that narrative. You have other countries in the Pacific Ocean. Well, yeah, the Pacific Islanders like Fiji, Papua New Guinea. They're very proud of their hair, and they have naturally blonde hair colors as well. They have beautiful hair, and it's just amazing. All over the world, the native people across the world, like the Aborigines in Australia, and how they're proud to wear their hair. And I just feel that, certain African and Caribbean countries are just lacking that pride and that, that change. And I just hope in the future it does change, because it's not nice having that mindset of a hair that, is meant for us. It's what grows out of our scalps. We cannot help it. I've always embraced or told my sister to embrace her natural hair, her curls, no matter what. We have different hair types, but I've always promoted her to wear it. And it's not a case of you must always wear afros 24/7. I'm not saying that. I would say wear your protective hairstyles. There's nothing wrong with weaves. There's nothing wrong with wigs. There is nothing wrong with box braids. It's still part of us, right? I would just say from time to time, don't be ashamed to wear this big microphone or this big mushroom that we got on our head, because trust me, when you walk out with this, all eyes are just going to be looking at you. And I'm sure if you go to China, yeah, everyone's going to be looking at you 10 times harder, you know what I mean? And it just shows our uniqueness, it just shows our beauty. It's part of our beauty, it's part of who we are. So I'm not saying, you know, you must always wear afro and you must always wear your natural hair, you know. There's nothing wrong. And for all the black women, I'm not going to bash them. I love black women in all different types of hairstyles. It could be braids, it could be weave, it could be sewing, it could be slip back, it could be afro puff, it could be whatever it is. You are allowed to wear the hair in any shape or form. You know what I mean? No one should tell you how you should wear your hair. But I also feel that from time to time we should have that pride about us, and you know, just rock it. You know, just rock it. Now, I just want to invite a couple questions to close this video off, this discussion, and you can let me know down in the comment section. One, do you feel that you wear your afro or not because of a choice, or is it because of the pressure and the looks and the backlash? Two, do you feel more connected to your roots, your culture, and your identity when you wear your natural hair? And number three, what's your personal journey been like? And how have you found it to maintain and keep up with your natural hair? Let me know down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this discussion and this talk. Please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So yes, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a blessed day. And remember, stay blessed.